when my team wins a big game, it's good. But when my team doesn't win the big game, you better look out, Buster. I'm a loose cannon. This is not good at all.
It's Monday. It's the Too Much Dip podcast. My name is David. I'm going to host today. In studio with me live and in person, it's KJ Ellis.
I talked with Randy and Brett before the show to see if they thought that the ceiling tiles here in the office would be able to hold me whilst upside down. They didn't respond, so I took it as a subtle no. So I will make my appearance today, sitting right side up. How about that?
How long do you think you could go podcast at a high level upside down?
With confidence in the structure, I could probably get a good segment in. Give me like 14 minutes.
We'll find a beam.
Yeah, give me 14 minutes with the opportunity to like avoid a nosebleed.
Speaking of nose, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We're not going to start off like that.
He's saying you buy bad seats online. You sit in the back.
Oh, okay.
No, not at his house. He's got the mounted TV with the sound bar. Not a bad seat in that home.
You don't see that anywhere.
The most underrated part of the Young family reunion yesterday was the fact that your TV was immaculately mounted.
There were just two youngs there, to be fair.
It was only two.
Just two youngs.
Will, Sally, Lily.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Will took Sally's last name.
Oh, Will, hope your tum-tum's doing better, brother.
You know, in the original Fitty video, he's shirtless, pop top.
He's in great shape.
He left it on for the Super Bowl halftime show.
He had the designer tank, or in another time, designer wife beater is what it might have been called, but I don't say that. So,
yeah, it's an Italian, not domestic violence.
I don't think is Curtis Jackson Italian?
Isn't that what Cuomo said?
Is that what he? Oh yeah, he did. Say something
he's
like
famously Italian, yeah.
Curtis Jackson, one of the
AKA Fitty,
just from that Italian stronghold in Jamaica, Queens. He's Jamaica, Queens, right? I don't fucking know. How did he get in there if they were doing a West Coast? Same with Eminem.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Oh, yeah. Aftermath.
His coaching tree, if you will.
You forgot about Dre.
No, you act like you forgot about Dre.
Right.
You forgot about Dre? Is that what you're going to say?
No.
That halftime show was sick, KJ.
No, it was incredible. Incredible. Okay. I've long held a fond position for Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, all the greats. What I'm getting at here is I don't think it was discussed enough the fact that like Dr. Dre was like nearly dead a year ago.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the real comeback story.
Very nearly dead. Like brain aneurysm, hospitalized for at least 2+ weeks.
Getting poured out in a divorce.
He was up there on stage and he hits a piano. I'm like, wait, this dude had an aneurysm like a year ago. Look at him.
Looks
He's
great.
up there just tickling ivory.
I watched that whole entire thing, not just concerned for his present day health and trying to make sure, like, whenever they would shift the camera away, like, was he back in the back, like, catching his breath? But also wondering, like, did the same people who set up a carnival, like in the old Irving Mall parking lot, set up this stage? Because there were multiple times where I'd look and they were like, the railings were wobbling. This was a very nice, very intricate set. It did not seem like the most stable and or well.
You're saying that it was not, there was no structural integrity, or you're questioning it.
I'm saying if they would have had this built, you know, in a place that prioritized American steel and American jobs, it may have had a less rickety feel.
Who are you saying that they got the parts from?
It's California, so you know it's all made in China.
Yeah, that's true.
China.
Well, let me say this. I was wondering if Eminem was going to make it, because when he took the knee, at first I didn't really pick up on the gesture, and I was like, oh, he's just is he winded? I mean, yeah, Eminem's had some issues over the years. It wasn't. He was just, do we know, was that a nod to Colin Kaepernick?
I believe it was, but as the watch party that I was at, in Florida with some lads, friends, close
Uh-huh.
connections
Uh-huh.
of mine, and the former head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like,
Oh,
we didn't watch that portion for
Man.
fear of like critical race theory. So
I was going
Yeah.
to say, speaking of China,
disregarded it.
did you see that Trump had a Super Bowl party?
Oh
And
yeah, he was there.
Your
I think
your dear friend Urban of Urban's Chop House was there.
formerly Urban's Chop House.
they were both there. You're
Currently
right.
Urban's Trap House now.
Yeah, he's selling drugs out of it.
Yeah,
It's kind of a weird
it's his
pivot.
new gig.
He's not doing well.
I heard that they were pivoting just to the Perry Steakhouse Friday deal and just going with like the 4-finger pork chop theme. So it's gonna be 4-finger
Okay.
chops
I see what
and
you're doing.
scotch.
Of course, a reference to the booty fondling from Urban.
Right.
A new fondue restaurant.
he checked.
It's
Yeah,
not a fun. Oh my god, fondue restaurant. I hate fondue. Fondue's
Fondue.
trash.
Hey, how many guys are beaten down right now?
Oh,
Or not right now, probably last night, as they thought, like, hey, do something special for Valentine's. Catch me at the melting pot.
the melting pot stinks.
I've never been to a fondue place.
Dude, you're missing nothing.
What is it? Just like a big pot of like cheese and you dip shit in it?
You just fucking go to Matt's and get queso. You'll have way more fun.
And
There-
then get
The
this,
melting pot.
they bust out a chocolate one.
See, I'm listening.
Yeah, but I don't need. The only thing that I dislike about these, and hailing from Arlington, Texas,
Agtown.
I would say that you probably missed this wave by a good 7 to 8 years, depending on the relationships from that town that you had, because Arlington was home to not only one but 2 fondue restaurants,
Simply Fondue?
and we had the melting pot.
Dude,
Simply
they
Fondue
hated each other. There was
uh,
actually a like a period of 8 months where they were at war.
They used to throw melted cheese on each other's windows.
Yeah. I opened my car door once and just cheese started dripping out. They cheesed my car out.
Wait, did you work for one of the restaurants?
I was
You just
I
got
was
caught
a
in the
chef.
crossfire?
I was a chef. I was a cheese chef.
What'd you do? How'd you prepare your fondue?
Well, I
it
can't. I
Velveeta?
signed an NDA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but no, I had a little something I added to it. I can't really talk about
A
it.
new twist?
A little something I brought over from Subway.
little spicy version called Gouda Hell.
Why did you know that? Is that a thing?
I don't know. All I was going to say is fondue sucks because of the little pointy sticks. That's all I really wanted to get out of that whole tangent. But anywho, yeah, Super Bowl party was dope. I'm back from Florida. Fresh
Did you
came.
say Belichick was there?
Yes, he was.
Billy Bells?
Hmm.
I only want to know who was the musical guest at that event. And did they do a silent auction? And were any of Darren Ravel's items up for auction?
From his binders full of African American history.
Just hand-stitched sweets from Darren Ravel. Anyhow.
The musical act was the one guy from Florida Georgia Line, the one who like had the most controversial takes.
I think you're thinking it was Big. No. It was Rich from Big and Rich.
Oh, did they break? No, Florida Georgia broke up too, though.
I don't know if they broke up. I'm just saying Rich was the one who cut the swoops out of his Nikes socks.
What
Who
did that
did
really
this?
happen?
1,000%. Early on in the Kaepernick hatred. Rich from Big and Rich, not the guy with the 45-inch head.
Oh my god.
The other one.
Yeah, you're really
Cut the
showing
swoops
that.
out of his socks.
You just wasted a pair of socks.
What an idiot.
Anyhow, that's not why we're here.
Did you guys watch the game? I didn't even watch it.
I caught some of it. I was slinging glizzies and drinking champagne.
You were
And
spitting those glizzies out left and right.
Dave, that was a good Super Bowl party, was it not?
Yeah, I told you, man. I had not only did I have one, but KJ, I had 2 chili dogs.
He did. Everyone's been calling him Chili Dog.
Come on, chili
Come
dog.
on, Chili Dog.
Come on, chili dog. Plays at second.
Yeah, come on, Chili Dog.
I'm going to forego my terrible, disgusting follow-up joke.
Well, I'll tell you
Dave
this, KJ.
Actually brought his own fondue yesterday to the party.
yeah,
Put it on everybody's
you
dog.
brought the cheese?
I did, but I was.
That's a high wire act. I'm not to cut you off, but you deserve credit for bringing a queso to a party because you've got to manage the temps.
Well, it was fondue.
It was fondue.
I don't know.
They're
the
calling me
difference.
Fondave.
Yeah.
Dylan was like, "Dude, Fondant. You got enough cheese."
Okay.
No, seriously. I did notice there was something in the chili that like kind of pissed me off. You serious with the beans in your chili, bro?
Oh God,
Where
here
you
we go.
freaking from, man?
You know,
You son of a bitch.
I enjoy chili of all types, with beans, without beans. I love a venison chili. That's actually probably my personal fave.
Ooh, this dude's a hunter-gatherer.
I'm not a hardo Texas chili guy. I don't put beans in it. Beans are fine.
Did
Beans are
Bay
good.
put the beans in?
Yeah, Bay made the chili, man.
Okay.
If you want to come to Bay, you want to cross Bay.
Not really.
You don't want those hands, dog.
No, I don't
She's
want to fist
feisty.
fight your fiance.
She's feisty.
I think we should have paused at the middle one and thought of like an and one situation in which David is trying to cross up your fiance. on
Don't get me
blacktop.
wrong. She's a nice young lady, but I'll break her ankles.
Nah, you won't, man.
I'll absolutely just yam one on her.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna throw down on her.
She's in the paint, man. You're in the paint. You can get it.
Okay, I'll pass that along to her.
I just need the situation in which David's wearing a shirt large enough for the ball to be passed inside of the shirt around his back and to be dribbled.
Oh,
I'll
like
wear the
hot
Arby's
sauce?
polo.
Exactly.
You can
No.
do a hot sauce.
No, man.
It's a full-blown
that,
professor over here.
that reminds me of the time that I was on that mixtape tour and they were calling me the professor.
I thought that was a different guy.
You're more of the teacher.
Actually, you kind of look like the professor.
They called me the
TA.
teacher's pet. I was the water boy.
The professor was the white guy, right?
Still is.
Yes, he was the Caucasian.
He's still
He's still white.
Confirmed.
He's
Still,
still white.
Still white.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
He has not taken a job with the Dolphins. So
Hey, he had
Okay.
handles, man.
He was good.
He had handles.
he cooks it up on TikTok. For those of you who subscribe to the theory of TikTok, which brings me to something else I didn't write on the rundown, but we probably should discuss. Can we go ahead and do the season finale of Dip Picks while we're all
Yeah.
here gathered?
Do we? Oh, yeah.
Get
I,
that
I,
out of the way.
I don't even know what the damage was.
Well, it was significant, if you will. I remember damage. Joke for like 7. Oh, and you saw the show, so whatever. You'll get it eventually. Season finale of Dip Picks. We had our good friend Brick on with us Thursday night.
Of course, Brick only takes his coffee black. That's how
The
he's known.
blackest of coffee. Man hasn't seen creamer in years.
Doesn't even know what it is.
But anywho, the season of Dip Picks has not been one that's been pretty for the three of us. Everybody knows the guests have been kicking our ass. The standing bet had been. It started out that last place would have to don truck nuts for a full month. I accepted that fate 2 weeks ago. Go back and listen to the live stream from a week or so ago, and you'll know what happened there. But we did have one final week to reclaim glory, get your boy back in it, and allow either of you a chance to beat the guest. It came quite close to actually happening. Not for you, David, because your night was pretty rough when it came to anything outside of... you hit all the non-big boy stacks, basically. Oh, I lie. You hit 2 of 4, 2 of 5. Not a good night. Dylan,
Okay.
on the other hand, you hit the 5-point big boy stack
Let's go.
for the Bengals to cover. However, since the over did not hit, it pretty much put you in a position where it just was not possible. At the end of the day, we lost you two by 20. That's not correct. You two by 11 points to the guests.
T2. Me and Dave tied for second.
I think it was 141, not 151. So 141 for the guests. Both of y'all tied at 130 points. I finished the week off and the year off with 115 points. Not good. Not good at all.
No, it's not.
So I don't know how we want to resolve these issues, being that I unintentionally have not satisfied the terms of my bet and the two of you have tied.
There's too much liability tied up in these truck nuts.
Yeah, it's probably a poor decision, and I don't have a vehicle that they would consistently be on. That's the problem why I couldn't like just reacquire truck nuts.
It's funny how that happens.
Yeah, well, you know, the goal was for them to be on the truck for 30 days, and I just didn't have the vehicle.
We'll make it right.
How are we planning to make this right? As Randy ruled in the court of too much dip, I'm liable for 3 TikToks.
I don't know why we put Randy in charge of that, but okay.
He was a fair and balanced judge, at least for my, my sentencing. I was okay with it. The two of you have to own up to some sort of payoff. Granted, it doesn't have to be a severe. I'll allow you to a plea deal here of what you're comfortable with coughing up here for losing. Pretty bad.
11 points. Not that bad. I mean, it's bad. It's not that bad.
I mean,
And Brick's like a professional gambler.
I will say that the odds, I don't think it was mathematically possible for you to overtake the guests based on the picks and the lack of fading done on Thursday night. Dylan had a shot. I actually had a shot to beat both of you. It didn't happen. So anyhow, where do we stand on a bet payoff for the two of you?
Oh my gosh.
This is a grand opportunity to shed that skin that is known as habitual welcher. I won't say who, but you know.
Yeah. I don't look, if you're asking if I have anything in, like that comes to mind in order to satisfy this, I don't, but I am open to it, within reason and, within the bounds of the law, legality, common law.
Okay. Food bet, or I don't know what that food bet would be. I'm just trying to figure out what category your preference is.
Do you want me to try to recreate
cringe bet, if you will?
Duncanville circa 1992, CC's Marcus Lopez, who ate 31 slices of pizza after a soccer game.
Be interested to see it.
God.
31, I believe it was.
I would settle for like 10 via 313 slices over the course of like 8 hours.
Detroit pizza's thick, man. That is not easy.
It's a 3-to-1 ratio.
I've done a whole one. I've done 4, but did you say 10?
I thought there were 8 slices in those, but
if you go with the 4 corner,
The big boy, you can get an 8.
okay.
over like a 24-hour period.
Or maybe you just finish one of those on your own from the start of a circling back to the end of a too much dip.
Whatever it is, the people are going to want content attached to
Can I
it.
do a physical challenge of some sort?
That's what I was saying. I feel like
Eating is physical. Eating is a sport, as is
Yeah.
business.
I mean, like,
there's ramifications there. But what do you have in mind?
I don't know.
I think the full day in a movie theater is fairly painless. It's just a big time waste. Kind of like
that's pretty dope, though. Like,
the
that's not really a
Franklin-
punishment.
The Franklin punishment was like fairly painless once you get over the dress,
It was painful.
but it was a lot of time.
Time out. You're telling the married guy with the 1-year-old at home
That is true.
for work he's going to have to go watch movies all day at a theater? Like,
So you have a
dang, freaking hell,
all day nap in a dark room.
man.
What if I walk to work one day,
I'm done.
which is like
Deal.
probably 3 miles?
How do we get content out of that?
But I would say
I'll
You have to wear a
document it.
GoPro.
I'll document it.
That's going to be so boring.
That's gonna suck.
here would be my caveat that this would have to be complete before we leave for Vegas. Because then the alternate option is,
Let me map it.
A, we can't allow this to go too long because we all know we do not need the physical shot at him like falling victim to heat exposure.
Yeah.
You know, that I'm not comfortable with being on the record.
Oh,
But
it's
B, we have the alternate option
4.8
of,
miles.
it's a big boy.
I'm 4.6 miles
Oh,
from.
you got that. It's a
And I
5K.
would
And that's
walk
not a flat-
4.6 miles.
That is not a flat terrain at
Can
all.
I get someone to take me home afterward?
And somebody take me home.
No,
yes, I'll pay for the Uber. I'm in for that.
Only if you clean up. I can't have that stinky ass in my whip.
I could do that. I could walk 4.6 miles.
That's not that good. Granted, it's better than what I've offered, which is nothing.
The other thing would be it's got to be something that's done in Vegas because we would then all be present.
Dude, but what happens there stays there.
It's an hour and a half walk. Hour and a half.
So your bet is complete after an hour and a half of walking.
I'm
I know.
proposing
I
something
know.
here.
I'm sorry. You threw out an idea
We're
that's more
also
than I've
going to
done.
need to have proof that Lime or whatever Uber Scoot has never been downloaded
Scoot,
on your phone
Scoot.
before and after.
Don't get on a scooter.
That's
I'm not gonna scoot.
No, you're going the back way, Red Bud.
That's not as dangerous.
Do
walk.
not scoot on that. Don't ride a bike on that.
blind turns and everything. The terrain alone makes that 4.5 miles like
You should just jog it. Make it a workout.
I should yog it.
Actually, no. Jogging makes it cooler. Like for you, walking is just all you want to do is jog. You're like, God,
I don't
this
care.
is miserable.
by foot. I think that's an acceptable payoff.
Do you want to see me eat 5 roast beef sandwiches from Arby's?
What about a whole tray of Schlotsky sandwiches?
They're sourdough. They're very filling sandwiches.
One large sourdough from Schlotsky's would fuck me
Take a
up.
tray down. See, an eating challenge. I just can't eat it. My stomach just goes hard stop after a while, and I can't.
It's not even fair if I do an eating challenge. I'm the guy who ate 3 slices of pizza. I'm the
That's
dude who
true.
went back-to-back chili dogs last night. Like, do you even want to fuck with me? I don't think you do. You get me in an eating challenge, I'm probably placing.
All right, then would you say a spice or a quantity eating challenge is the preferred route for you?
Probably spice.
Okay. Then I think we just do one of those.
What's the hottest pepper in the world?
There's
No, I'm not doing
there's
that.
that one chip challenge that's out
I can't.
there.
No, I can't do that. I got the diver tick.
Oh yeah.
You just chose spicy.
I know,
And
and
you
I just
chose
realized
food.
I've got
That's
diver
a terrible
tick.
decision altogether.
I know. I'm on a probiotic. It's cool.
What if you ate like a gallon of Bluebell ice cream or something?
So much sugar.
I tried to eat 4 slices of cheesecake for a bet at work, and it looked like I was dumping out a gallon of milk orally. Like 6 hours later, it was the worst.
Why didn't you
The
just swallow
worst.
it?
I saw somebody eat 27 Krispy Kreme donuts one time, and he threw them all up.
Can we just talk about the Super Bowl? We'll figure something out. I promise.
Foot massage. Yes. There you go.
Oh, the big game.
You got to get a middle of the mall foot massage. I feel like you're also
Oh no, you got to go in the
OCD
mall
guy.
and you have to stop and talk to every kiosk, every person that's flagging you down from like outside of a store. The
have to-
guy who's got the helicopters, he's flying around. You have to stop and talk to each one for 5 minutes.
So maybe I should switch to Cricket Wireless.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
All right, we'll be there. Barton Hills, book it 2 weeks.
Oh
there
my
it is.
God.
She's a
You've
per-
got to go.
So what do you
chat up-
got?
You've got to chat up at least 15 people in the mall.
She's a
because we don't
perfect
have
10, but she has Cricket Wireless.
And I got to wear Randy's GoPro hat. He's got that like very obvious GoPro helmet thing.
How are you recording this, sir? you
It's
know.
a podcast.
All right, lock it in. That's the end of dip picks for the year. David's gonna go chat up half the mall. Dylan's walking to work, and your boy's gonna be on TikTok, rising star here soon. I feel like I got it this easy compared to the two of you.
We'll see. Can I ask a question? That was objectively a really good fourth quarter. But was the ending kind of just not like the last play, but did it just seem like a low energy? Was there not a lot of energy in that stadium? I know it's a Super Bowl, but it just felt anticlimactic a little bit.
What game? I guess it was Garoppolo versus the Rams, where they had a minute and a half theoretically to get into position to win that game.
He
to
threw
come
the
back
pick.
again. And when they took the field, nobody had a sense of like, oh, he's got a minute and a half. Like he has a chance. Everybody had a sense that Joe Burrow could do that. But I think from the very first second of the first snap on that drive, all you were watching was Aaron Donald.
So have you seen the overhead, I guess the all 22 view of that play? And that
I have not
Jamar?
watched the feet.
he was
of
wide
the
open.
tape.
No, I mean, he was,
Ramsey fell down.
Again.
I think he's taking it to the house.
But
If-
as Ramsey was falling down, Donald had his mitts on Burrow, and it was no chance.
Which that pass very well could have been caught as well. I don't think they would have gotten the first down. I don't remember where it was.
Did P. Ryan like not make a great effort on catching that ball?
I couldn't tell from that angle. It was hard to say.
It was
Just
weird. I
Like,
thought it
just
was-
accepted the fate of like I'm not going to catch this. and
just like the Niners play. Actually, now we think about it, wasn't Garoppolo like in some
he
sort
had
of
he
distress
had a man right there. It was
and just kind of threw it high?
yeah, and it got picked. But
Yeah.
no, I mean from the regular camera view, I thought he was completing it. I was like, oh, this is like his Jedi moment. But yeah, no, not at all. Aaron Donald picked the absolute best possible time to make an appearance.
For the Rams to eat up 5, I think it was like 6.5 minutes left when they took the field to drive that they ended up, taking the lead and winning on. For them to be able to eat up that amount of time with how shitty their run game had been was nothing short of incredible. And obviously you got 2 or 3, not gimmick plays, but they had to go to Cooper Kupp around the end.
Did you think that was going to work? Because as soon as I saw, I'm not a play predictor, but as soon as I saw Kupp in motion, I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, they're definitely going to hand it off to Cooper Kupp. Like I knew immediately. I cannot believe that worked.
I don't know why I kept going back to thinking about the Niners, but as soon as I realized like they can't run the ball And it's the opposite reason of why they use Deebo Samuel so much. It was like he couldn't get the ball to Deebo Samuel, so they ran it with him. So I'm like, we haven't seen anything like that yet. And lo and behold, they did. I don't know if I knew it was going to work because obviously he had to cut back to like make it work, but that's a balls out decision. 4th and 1. Let's say your center gets blown off the line. They fumble the exchange, whatever happens, and they don't get that. Sean McVay is getting run out of the building. Like, he's not getting fired, but people are out on him for a long time.
The entire second half of that game was Sean McVay slander. Like, dude, like, establish the run, man. Yeah, like, we get it. Like, I don't know. It was you knew every time he handed it off what was about to happen. It was unbelievable. Credit to the Bengals D line.
I'm glad they kept running. They didn't run in that 6-minute drive as many times as I would have preferred, quote unquote, like me, genius football decider, as you can tell from my
You
pick
are the
pick
football
selections.
decider.
Yeah. Obviously, don't listen to me on that, but 6.5 minutes, and they kept getting bailed out by penalties. And when the clock is stopped in that situation, the other team has all 3 timeouts. Just run it on first down. I don't care how predictable it is.
They ran a QB sneak, 1st and goal, I believe.
Yes. And that got the clock running.
Yeah.
But that's the same concept. Just get the clock running to where they have to use a timeout at some point.
Sure.
And then, even if you do come out of this 3 up or whatever it might be, the other team doesn't have 3 timeouts to take the field with. And I think they took the field with 2.
Correct.
Like, that's just ridiculous. So
Any issue with the officials not showing up until the most critical time in the game?
yeah, because I picked over 1.5 measurements.
I mean, they let a lot go through 3 and 3 quarters, and
The blatant missed OPI, Higgins on Ramsey. It was Higgins, right? It was Higgins.
T. Higgins, yeah.
Which I believe was early in the 3rd quarter.
wasn't it the first play?
Yeah, you're right. It was the
First play of the second half,
That's
right?
right.
Because full disclosure, I had to bring my son home.
Yeah. I couldn't stop thinking about that play. So I was kind of out on the refs moving forward. But yeah, it was a pretty quiet game from the refs until it wasn't, which was go time in the 4th quarter.
Prior to that, not bigger, it's certainly bigger because that play helped define their whole, it's what kept the Bengals in it. But the scrum that happened on the sideline, Aaron Donald shoves Joe Burrow out of bounds, like very clean shove. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't over the top, but shoves him. The Bengals, understandably so, their linemen come to the defense of Joe Burrow and like try to, talk shit to Aaron Donald, which bad decision because he does not suffer any fools in that department.
He's a bully, man.
But after that, there were at least 2 or 3 instances where Bengals should have had a flag thrown them. Like they had 2 or 3 shots straight to somebody's face mask, like of just face mush, punches, whatever you want to call it, on the sideline well after the refs had arrived. And they got no penalties in that situation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's egregious. And I think even Chris Collinsworth, maybe it was Jack Collinsworth, one of the two, like thought it was pretty ridiculous.
They're the same person, so it doesn't really matter.
Of course, there was a penalty called on Cincinnati during the after the interception. What was that buffoon's like? What was he doing?
Got caught up in the moment, man.
Oh.
You're not even suited. Like
He wasn't suited and booted.
he was
Dylan.
not suited. He was not booted. When is that not a penalty? Like, what are you thinking? Did he forget that he was injured and not like wearing a uniform?
I don't remember his name, but he's the guy.
Hargreaves, I believe, is his last
Hargreaves. Vernon Hargreaves.
Vernon
right?
Hargreaves.
Vernon.
Yeah.
So I know the name. I can't really speak to his entire career. Let me see, but I know he's been around for a while. By that, I mean, at least a year or two. University of Florida player. And 2016, 11th overall, 1st round draft pick. So again, not a nobody. The Bucks drafted him. He's also played in Houston. Now he's in Cincy. So
Where's
I'm
he
not
at next
saying-
year? I
Not
know where he's
Cincy.
not.
I'm not saying he's not, or he should know better, but in the event you're going to make a bonehead decision like that, maybe you're not in shorts and slides in the moment.
Wait, was he at Florida under Urban?
Yes.
And you're telling me he's not?
No. 2016 draft. So Urban would have
Oh, okay.
been in
All right.
Ohio
Well,
State at the
there
time.
goes my joke.
Yeah, I
We
understand.
can still have fun. Sorry to our Florida fan listeners.
But yeah, it was quite shocking. Third, ironically so, third cornerback drafted in that draft behind two others. Because he's third. That's how numbers work. Any guesses?
What year was it?
2016. Biggest hint, they both played last night.
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey, first cornerback drafted by the Jaguars that year. And the second one,
Awuja.
not Chidobe
Damn it.
Awuzie. He was not.
No, he was not a first rounder.
Eli Apple out of Ohio State.
Boy, the Eli
Who was under
Apple
Urban?
slander.
Drafted by New York?
Yes.
Not a lot of. Did you see who was it on the Chiefs that had the tweet of the night?
Nicole Hardman.
That sir wins the internet. Tip
What did-
my
what did-
internet hat to you.
What did Mecole say?
Last week or the week before, I guess, Eli Apple was on the internet, talking shit after beating Mecole, the Chiefs and Mecole Hardman. I can't recall what he said originally, but Mecole Hardman basically took a video of his ring, his Super Bowl ring. He's like, "Don't worry, little buddy. One day maybe you'll get one of these. Just keep up the hard work, blah, blah, blah," because Eli Apple notably had said some shit like that. We were talking about Eli Apple a few weeks ago, asking why is he why do people hate him so much? I don't know if y'all have seen the tweet pop up since, but when he left New Orleans, he sent the tweet out that I'm going to butcher it. I don't feel like looking for it. Basically saying the food in New Orleans is the worst. All that gumbo and crawfish rots y'all's brains. It's disgusting. Vomit emoji.
You can't say that, dog.
So notably, everybody in New Orleans
Plus, that shit is
fucking hates
fire.
him.
Give me all the gumbo, all the crawfish,
Don't catch him at Galatois.
all the beignets.
He will never have a 5-hour lunch with us at
No, it's
Galatois.
flat out not gonna
It's just
happen.
not in the cards. Did you find yourself in those last few minutes thinking about the holder who botched that extra point?
As somebody who picked the Rams to cover, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Johnny Hecker.
I was thinking of it for that, but for more of like, oh no.
What if this is the...
Yeah.
It wasn't a moment that I think would have lived in infamy. Like, had the Bengals tied it up and came back to win, nobody would be blaming that one point. They'd be like, yeah, it mattered, but since it was in the first quarter or second
Sure.
quarter, I don't think people would have blamed it as much. Thoughts on OBJ, who, by the way, reportedly has torn his ACL.
Did he?
Yeah.
I was hopeful that didn't happen when I saw him walking around afterward, but I know you can still do that on a torn ACL. He caught a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He made another pretty big play, I want to say. He had a solid game up until getting injured. I've said this a couple times already. I'm happy for the guy. His career feels like so vindicated now after getting out of Cleveland and having like a good second half to the season with the Rams. Happy for the guy. Yeah, he's got a ring now, man.
Can I say, and I'm not just saying this because I predicted an absolute just ass kicking by the Rams, but he does not hurt himself there. The game's not close.
1,000% agree.
Right?
If you don't get the face mask, if OBJ stays in the game, you got to think that having OBJ would have at least improved their opportunities to get some yardage out of the run game, which, because the lack of that run game, is what kept giving the ball back to the Bengals so consistently. And then the Bengals hit 2 or 3 big plays. Ramsey had the worst game of his career, of his life. I haven't seen any post-game comments from him, but I watched a good 45 minutes of the post-game ceremonies. He was nowhere to be seen.
Dude, I was wondering that too. I wonder, man.
Which I don't know if he left there and was immediately at some, at a club or whatever celebrating. But if he took that
He was at the Viper Room.
and was like just grateful for his wins, I tip the cap. I'm not saying like if he didn't go out and celebrate at all, but like Dirk, notably, after they won the championship, Dirk wasn't around as they were like beginning to pass around the
He
trophy
walked off the court.
because he was in the locker room like soaking it all in. Like I think with Holger, maybe. I don't know.
He's just crying.
But whatever. If Ramsey left the field and was just sitting in the locker room, like grateful for this,
He probably knows that last play.
all of the plays that happened were all on him.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like he he went for the pick on I think it was that last Bengals drive, that first play of the drive, like 17 yards. And I thought Chase was going to break that.
Incredible catch, incredible.
But yeah, I don't know. I understand why Cooper Kupp got MVP. Not saying that I boldly predicted it would be a quarterback and it would also be Matt Stafford. I just thought, like, hey, are we forgetting? I know we threw that pick, but that was basically a punt.
2 of them. That's the problem.
Oh, fuck.
He got the Chidobe Awuzie pick is what really. I think without that one, you get a Stafford MVP.
Should have been Aaron Donald, man.
100%.
Great argument for that. That last drive, though, like, Kupp was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
He was. The last drive for Cincinnati that ended the game, Aaron Donald was incredible.
And Von Miller, their D-line and what Raheem Morris did. I mean, obviously, you've got the best puzzle pieces to play with. Eric Weddle, shouts to him, 5 weeks on that team and essentially was a captain by the end of his time. What people don't talk about enough is I'm sure they do. Prior to Eric Weddle coming back, right before Taylor Rapp got injured, shouts to him for getting engaged. Jalen Ramsey and Taylor Rapp were like fighting on the field during the game. I don't know if we recall talking about that.
I did not see that.
There was some game in which like Jalen Ramsey basically smacks Taylor Rapp.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Rapp got hurt later in that game. They sign Eric Weddle. Eric Weddle basically stitches that, secondary room together. And that dude, I loved him when he was at Utah, and his career has been incredible. So very happy for him. Joe Burrow, real quick, I guess.
You have a song for this?
I do not have a song for this. But do we feel he is significantly better than any of the other AFC rising star quarterbacks?
No.
Because I feel like there's
Who are you including in that list?
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, I would say is at the top, so I should start there. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. There's another quarterback I'm completely missing.
Division.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson deserves to be up there for sure.
No, I think
Derek Carr, I'd probably say it's at the bottom of that list, but still a very good quarterback. Carson
thinking
Wentz.
about like people who are saying, "Oh, dude, well, it's his second year in the league. He'll get back there," and that's always like a thing people say, and then people like point out, like, "Dude, it's very difficult to get back." The path having to deal with Mahomes and Allen in your conference for the next decade, conceivably, that's a lot. That's a lot because those guys are clearly the two best in the conference. Now, if they get their O-line cleaned up.
Jeez.
But it's insane that they made it that far with that O-line. 9 sacks in the AFC Championship?
Mm-hmm.
That's unbelievable.
No, the Titans game was 9 sacks.
Okay.
And then they only gave up 4 between the next 2 games. But either way,
they've got to protect that
Burrow
dude.
was the number 1 sacked quarterback this year.
They've got to protect that dude. His knee, I don't even know how he went back out on the field after that knee injury. It looked like he got it twisted up really badly in there.
And
but
it was his other one too. Yikes.
He's not going to have a long career unless they fix that O-line. He's just getting his.
And you're getting that with a top tier receiver, about as good as you can ask for other receiving parts, and 2 very, very good running backs behind you. Like, you've got as many weapons as anyone in the league and nothing in front of you. So we'll see. We will see. Last
Joe Mixon.
Huh?
Joe Mixon's got to be on the end of the.
Oh, he's gonna stay. Samaje
No.
Perine.
I mean, like, as far as like, what's a running back in the modern NFL has
5 years,
5 good years if you're lucky, before you get zeked.
I don't know what the age difference is between him and Perine, but I think Perine was in Washington first before joining, and they had Giovanni Bernard. So Mixon's never been the solo running back there.
Okay.
He did have a long injury year, I believe.
Yeah, early
so
on.
Maybe I would say you got at least 2 more years with Joe Mixon.
Okay.
Real quick, there was a lot of talk ahead of the week and throughout the week, and I think but the football and sports world got caught up in like the who's going to retire mindset, because you had Rodgers talk about retirement, Brady finally retiring. I feel like somebody else retired that was notable as well. Can't remember. Doesn't matter. But going into this week, Andrew Whitworth, 40-plus-year-old left tackle, just wild to think of, had already said he was going to retire. The great Michelle Tafoya has already said, this is it for me. It's getting too woke around here. And then there were rumblings about Tim McVay's son, Sean, retiring, and Aaron Donald potentially retiring if they won.
No Tim McVay sightings last night.
No Tim McVay sightings. He was sitting behind Kanye in his all black.
He was
mask.
he was celebrating the never mind.
What do you mean Sean McVay's?
There were articles written. They asked him about it multiple times after the game. He immediately shot it down. Aaron Donald did not.
Aaron Donald, how old do you think Aaron Donald is? You may know this. You probably know.
I don't. 31.
I was going to guess 30,
30. He's in year 7 or 8 of his career. Year 8. I would respect the hell out of that.
Especially playing defense tackle.
Yeah.
Like, granted, we look at him and he's like, hey, this is a rock solid man.
He's getting double team. Like, he's just getting, I mean, I know he is the one usually inflicting the damage, but you're still taking a ton of contact. Teams are game planning on you. You're getting beat up, even though you're doing most of the damage. Like,
he's so fun.
Wouldn't blame him at all.
Man.
Go out on top. Love it.
I was, I don't know why I triggered the word, but when you're talking about him getting double teamed, it immediately brought back an image in my mind from last night when I was at the watch party.
Do?
No, I was showing my wife. I paused the freaking TV and I'm like up there pointing at the screen whenever he's like holding a block, and then Samaje Perine's running through the hole, and he reaches over and stops a 250-pound man with his right arm and does not allow more than like half a yard on the carry. And I'm like, this is not human.
Yeah.
Like, that guy weighs 320 pounds. That guy weighs another 220, and he's running the other way. And this human being's pushing up a sled and then grabbing him and stopping him in the hole without any, give.
Ooh. The way he can just shed a 330-pound guard with one arm on his way to quarterback or running back is you just don't see players like that. It's unbelievable watching that guy.
Odds of Aaron Donald being a WWE personality in the next 2 years.
Zero.
Dude, he's just a freak. He's perfect.
He would be. But if I'm him, I probably don't retire this year, which, who am I to say shit? I don't know where he's at in regards to his contract or what. I know he's the highest paid player. But if he wanted to retire right now, you take a year, take some media training, he could be on TV for 40 years if he wanted to.
Or go fight in the UFC. We don't know what's going to happen at heavyweight. We don't know what's going to happen with Francis.
He made UFC money like in a quarter last night.
He really did. And he's only 6'1". You can definitely, Daniel Cormier was champ at heavyweight, and he's like 5'10". But
next up, Combine, NFL Draft, all that good off-season jazz, and I'm sure there'll be drama between here and there.
But
Al Michaels potentially retiring. I don't know. I'm throwing that out there. That's my rumor. Could happen, couldn't happen. Who knows?
Man.
But what's going on now that we talked about like some of the minor sports? What about the bigger football programs out there, like Grambling?
We're laughing at KJ.
We'll save it for sports party. How about that? Worth where we're at on time.
No, that was such a good intro.
I
You
know.
killed that.
I know.
What's going on at Grambling?
everybody wants to know.
Dylan, do you know who the head coach at Grambling University is?
KJ, I do not.
Do you know where Grambling University is located? You might actually know that, and I don't mean that insulting.
I could make an educated guess, and I would probably get it wrong.
Where?
Virginia?
Louisiana.
Oh,
Between Monroe and Ruston, where Louisiana Tech is.
okay. I was way off. Very cool.
Head coach at Grambling, formerly the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, Hugh Jackson.
No shit.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it's the truth. David, will you purchase any Grambling gear if this new offensive coordinator is hired?
Of course, you're asking me because the coach that you have yet to name is one, Art Briles.
Former Baylor Bear, Art Briles.
Yeah, a guy who turned around the program at Baylor, then got Pepper Hamilton. And
For what, though?
The offensive coordinator? Pep Hamilton?
No, different Pepper Hamilton. Talking to the law firm. Still funny to me.
Always
Every time I
blow my
see
mind.
that poor dude's name, I just laugh. Yeah, no, I mean, he's a man who First of all, I always thought if Art Briles gets back in the game, it's not going to be in college because he's kind of proven. Even though I don't know how much buck stops at the top. Fine, I don't know how much of the Baylor scandal. You might be saying, which Baylor scandal? The one from 2015, 2016. I don't know how much of that was on him, but he clearly did turn a blind eye to some things. So I always thought if he gets back into football, it'll be at the professional level. Because it's different managing professional adults who are making money than kids,
Student athletes.
18-year-olds, student athletes who are, whatever. So this would be surprising. I also didn't have Grambling as the school, just to be completely honest. When I saw this on the rundown, I didn't believe it. But I mean, look, HBCUs they're doing quite well with Dion at Jackson State, and they're getting more notoriety. I don't know. I don't know how this will be received if this happens. I don't know how it'll be received by the sports media.
Eddie George at Tennessee State with one. Jeff Fisher's no longer the OC, but his son, I think, is now the OC.
Good. Jeff's not there to ruin a first-round talent's career. Damn. Sorry, Vince.
Wow. Yeah, so that's all we've got in football.
Well, wait, how close is this to happening? I have not read the actual story. Is this just rumor mill or
headlines on Twitter?
Close? Does Briles have a connection with Hugh Jackson?
Was he coaching high school before this?
Yeah, Mount Vernon, Texas.
And they did quite
Northeast
well
Texas.
in the 2 or 3 years that he was there.
He's a hell of a football coach.
Yeah.
When it's just about
But he's
football.
he's old. Not only is he old, he got paid. Like he got paid out by Baylor, that whole deal.
Oh, really?
Like go away I'm thinking 20, 30 million.
Kelly level. Actually, Megan Kelly got like 100 mil, but
Chris Cuomo level.
There you go. We're running almost on one more year. Megan Kelly's back. Can't wait.
Okay.
Your boy's all over conservative media today.
You're chomping at the bit. Dylan's champing at the bit.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah, no, that'll be pretty interesting. If he gets, I don't know, what's more likely, Kendall Briles to leave Arkansas?
That.
Okay.
I'm shocked that he stayed, but I mean, probably best to not just one and done it there. They've done well, but if he can back that up with another year, he's in the running to take the Auburn job, I would bet.
Yeah, because that's a story.
Still,
our guys staying.
Yeah.
Our man's isn't going anywhere.
Brian Arson.
You crushed that. Way to go.
I genuinely do not remember, but whichever is the right, you apply it.
Never proven true.
Pardon me while I enjoy this nice, tasty beverage.
Well, KJ, enjoy that tasty beverage. Get in the right headspace. Speaking of, so what if a few minutes was all that it took to change your relationship with stress and anxiety, transforming your life for the better? That's the power of meditation with Headspace. We love it. We use it. If I'm very stressed out, I do the SOS meditation, the mini meditation before bed, calms my mind, helps me sleep. Our thoughts can be confusing enough. Meditation, though, it does not have to be.
I used Headspace before they were a sponsor. I've talked about that many times. I was a beginner trying to get into meditation, knew nothing about it or how to do it. Headspace was great for beginners, just walking you through the process, and it is so effective.
Headspace is your convenient dose of meditation, mindfulness, and sleep exercises to relieve stress and anxiety and help you get a good night's sleep all in one app, making it easy to catch your breath and make time for your mental health. And it's one of the most science-backed meditation apps in the world, proving meditation does work. A study proves in just 2 weeks, Headspace can reduce your stress level by 14%. Find some Headspace at headspace.com/bang and get 1 month free of their entire meditation library. This is the best Headspace offer available, so go to headspace.com/bang today. That's headspace.com/bang. What do you want to do?
Is there any time to party?
You want to party? You want to jump right into this party? I'm down.
I think we should.
Okay.
Well, V-Day party.
Call this one the spit roast. I'm sorry. I can't.
What's wrong with
He mentioned it earlier, and it's just
I
laughing.
never said spit roast.
You said a double team, and I was thinking about a pig.
I was thinking about the Jean-Claude Van Damme featuring the Worm, a.k.a. Dennis Rodman, feature film, Double Team.
Did that do pretty well?
I guarantee it did not.
It's a cult classic. Hey, did you guys watch any Monobob? Dylan, you've been champing at the bit to talk Monobob.
Is that really the term it's called? What, is this the first year it's called Monobob?
I don't know. It's mono bobsled. Mono means one, of course.
Right.
Science guy.
Yeah, I knew that part. I do watch Little Monobob, but only because it came on right after the Super Bowl last night.
I watched a little bit of it. I haven't watched much Monobob. I've been watching more Dua Lipa. Of course, that's a reference to the
Women's
popular.
Monobob? Sorry.
Americans take gold and silver in the Monobob, the female Monobob.
The female Monobob gold medalist, forgot the young lady's name,
Canadian?
was on Team Canada like up until like a week ago. Not really, but like this is her first time racing under the Stars and Stripes. She had like a disagreement with the Canadian coaching staff and decided, you know what, I'm going to become an American, which she did, applied for citizenship.
Boy, that is a total FU to
Isn't
Team
that?
Canada. To go out there and get gold.
It seems like it's too easy to do that, right? I mean, that process was probably a little expedited. Oh, let's get her through. Let's get her papers processed.
You know what I heard? She actually came down here to train. She couldn't get back home because of the convoy,
Oh,
the trucker convoy, and she couldn't get back across the border. So
she's all tatted up too.
convenient. After she won,
She's kind of a bad
all got
girl.
cleared out.
Is she a baddie?
She's got tats on her hands. She's a bad girl, man.
She is a bobsled baddie.
She's a baddie.
You know, I heard how she got here. She came across the Canadian border.
Who are we speaking with here?
I'm sorry.
Any guy at a Brookshire's in Texas?
Oh, man. People forget about Brookshire's. No, hey, gold and silver. Very cool. Where are we
Very
at in the
sick.
medal count? We coming back? We making a comeback for this?
No, man.
When are these closing ceremonies? How about that? Any guesses?
Dude,
you ready
in
for
this
this to be
office, every day is a closing ceremony because we're consistently closing deals.
It's true, man.
They end on the 20th, closing ceremony, which is always underwhelming. Is
You have to be
scheduled
really invested to watch the closing ceremony.
8 p.m. Central Time on Sunday.
No one watches the closing ceremony.
Ooh, what if I told you the United States was third in the medal count?
Let's
what,
hear the count.
Norway?
Norway won, which, hey,
How many?
fine, have fun. 21. 21 total medals. Germany, 2 with 15. And this has U.S. at 3 with 16. That doesn't make sense. I
No.
guess it's because Germany has 8 golds. We only have 7. This is a very weird list, and I'm not comfortable with
Maybe
it.
it's
Doesn't matter.
okay.
As long as we're beating.
Nailed it.
I didn't nail it. You know what? Why don't you help me out?
Sorry,
Why
I'm
don't you
trying
pick
to
me up?
I'm trying to figure out if we're going to be in Vegas during the West Coast Conference tournament. I apologize.
Okay,
I'm
so-
prepping for the next bullet.
Okay, so this article I just pulled up says it's actually Norway won with 21 in the ROC with 18, United States in third with 16. Yeah, the Rock is in the building.
They were at in the building at Super Bowl too, ironically enough. Breaking news, fellas. As we segue to next bullet point, we might have an opportunity of a lifetime whilst in Vegas, and we can circle back, if you will, to golf. But one Chet Holmgren and the Gonzaga Bulldogs will be beginning their Western Conference, whatever WCC is, their tournament.
In Vegas?
Starts
In Vegas?
the 3rd through the 8th.
Ooh, if it conflicts with Blue Man Group, I don't think I can go.
All right. I might see if I can go hunt down Chet while y'all
Chet
are swinging
stinks.
sticks. day
Unless it's
one.
Chet Hanks, I don't want to
Chet
beat him.
stinks. Yeah, he's only got room for one Chet in my life, and
Chet was at the game last night.
he
Chet's
was
still cooking.
sitting next to his daddy, his zaddy.
Did you guys catch any Waste Management Open?
Mm-hmm.
I watched a good bit of it actually.
Thoughts as a golf casual golf fan?
Prior to the weekend, I did yell at a cloud and old man it and say, we're going a little off the deep end with the bits. I was referring mostly to, or I guess it was Thursday nights, not prior to the weekend. I was referring mostly to the costumes, and I was on board with all the drinking and debauchery. Still am. I probably stop a little shy of throwing full-blown beer cans, like with liquid in them.
Yeah.
Even dildos are better than beer cans.
Throw dildos, not beer cans,
Well,
is the T-shirt you want us
actually,
to make.
I don't even know if I support that, because frozen dildos in Buffalo, probably a difficult thing to be hit with, because not everybody's making it to the field. Like, you're a guy in row 2 and drunk dude 10 steps up, like pegs you in the back of the head. My bad, man. My bad.
Dude, he chipped in, man.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
I think throwing the beers is a bit much. I agree with you on that.
I give you a pass on the first ace.
Yeah.
We
We suggested beer showers,
which they did some beer showers. That's fine.
but plus, someone's got to clean that shit up. It's going to delay the next, the next group.
No,
and it's
I don't think it's
someone could
two
get
old
hurt.
man yelling at Cloud to be weird, not weirded out, but just being like, I don't know if throwing this stuff on somebody could get hit. There's a ton of volunteers.
As far as I know, the first year that's happened.
But what
Yeah, I
other-
think that's right.
You got what? Obviously, you get hats. Is a hat trick thing, hockey, whatever. But then St. Louis, they did what, like squid?
The squid,
or octopus?
that shit's cool.
Wasn't that Detroit?
I thought that was cool. Maybe it was Detroit. I don't know, but I thought it was
Who
cool.
knows?
Some people throw, underwear on stage. That's a whole thing.
When we do live podcasts, they throw braziers at Dylan.
So some hockey team recently did a teddy bear drive for kids,
Okay.
and they
That's dope.
thousands of teddy bears are thrown on the ice. I thought that was cool shit.
I just like to imagine the moments before they're like, okay, now's the time to throw them. And you've got to fucking just sit around and like try to eat your baseball helmet nachos. And there's fucking teddy bears and squid sitting next to you. You're like, hey, can I just toss this now?
Can you
I'm
just get rid of your fucking squid, please?
I'm trying to eat
it
my
stinks.
fucking
Do they just keep
belly
with them
buster.
the whole game? How
I
does that work?
assume- I assume there has to be something that the waste management tour can come up with. Empty plastic bottles, if you will. I don't know.
How do you acquire a whole squid anyway?
You go down to the seafood store.
You just, one squid?
I'll have uno squid, please.
I like the thought. I don't even know how I feel about beer shower, because how long are you sitting in those stands at a golf tournament? Like, you're there all fucking day.
Yeah, but KJ, these guys, man, like you go there knowing that some shit's gonna you're there to party.
If it's student section at a college game, I approve of it, because again, student section, you're all cut from the same area.
Tortillas.
Tortillas at Texas Tech.
No one's ever been hurt by a tortilla.
You could catch an edge in the eyeball or something with a tortilla. It's probably happened.
That's what happened to Stuart Scott, right?
Okay.
All right.
I don't know about that. Didn't you apply to be like the bell ringer?
No, he was
Tech.
the
Saddle
masked
Champs.
rider.
No. Saddle Tramps, like, they do hardcore recruiting, like the day one of orientation. And all I could think of was like, how spare is the core at Texas A&M that these guys are like trying to mimic it. And they're like, all right, hey, but we don't wear those tall boots. You can rock some Wranglers and a red shirt, and you get to be on the sideline. It's like, I can be on the sideline too, man, but I'm not having to go jack off a bell in between
Yeah.
You
Wes
wanna jack off a
Welker
bell?
field goal attempts. I don't know, man.
Who's they're really called the Saddle Tramps?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the name.
Cool.
Anyhow, Texas Tech lore for you. So you're out on Chet Holmgren is what I'm hearing, but it is basketball season. We've got some time to catch up before the tournament.
Last thing on the waste management. I'm sorry. Just
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
shout out.
where
Hey,
we're-
big day for Highland Park yesterday. I don't know if you saw this, but not only did Matt Stafford win a Super Bowl, Scotty Scheffler wins the waste management in a playoff. More importantly, though, the spray beer, throw shit on an ace, fine. Very rare. Chip in from a guy who's not even in contention, although a big name in the game, Justin Thomas. You don't need to throw the beers down there for that. I mean, like, he was like T25 or something. I don't even know.
I don't know. It's golf. Like, maybe throw visors and hats.
Maybe.
Probably a bridge too far.
Dude, I would be so miserable sitting at 16. As much as I pee, I would be in so much trouble. Like, I just sitting there drinking all day. That place is not built for me, or I'm
That
not built for
or-
it.
Like front row Coachella waiting on a main stage act.
Just bottles.
Oh,
Terrible.
Sounds terrible.
lastly, I will add, based on what you saw in golf this past weekend, Patrick Cantlay did quite well for a bulk of this tournament. What's the TCU guy's name who won last week?
Tom Hoagie.
He was
Dear
up on
friend of the podcast.
Yeah. He was up on the leaderboard towards the end. He was in contention.
I tweeted this. So that the first ace of the weekend happens, and it's all anybody on Twitter is talking about. 2 minutes later, a friend of the show, Dan, a.k.a. Jack Hammer, texts me, and I assume like this is a tweet or a text about that. It's just, are we in the Tom Hoagie era of golf now? He's like, he's lurking.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, only Dan is going to text me about Tom Hoagie immediately after this ace. And to be fair, he was in contention yesterday, but
I thought it, but I don't know what the hell I'm watching. What I'm getting at is, based on what you've seen over 2 weeks, any early Masters thoughts?
Oh, you want some Masters takes? I'll just say this. I freaking
wait.
love the Masters, dude.
Can't
I've
wait.
got the app. I don't ever delete it. That's
Would
how
you
much I
shut
love
up?
it. That's how much I love it, man. What's
We'll
the
save-
countdown?
We'll save NBA for next week. How
People
about
forget I went to the Masters in 2017.
Was that the year that somebody saw Aaron Rodgers just walking around by himself?
I did, yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
trying
He's
to think.
by the 16th green.
No, I haven't been to the Masters. Nope. I made it back. So, only NBA thing I should mention: All-Star games this weekend.
You can't just power through your
I
joke
am
like
fast
that.
powering through that.
Well, the All-Star game, huh?
NBA All-Star games this
Final
weekend.
score 196 to
Yeah.
184.
Will it be better than the Pro Bowl?
No, it's going to be in Cleveland, so absolutely not.
This is for you.
Who's in the dunk contest, the slam dunk contest, where they dunk and get a 10 unless you like miss?
The only thing I know about it is in Cleveland, and James Harden was not selected until the very final pick, and Kevin Durant intentionally made it that way, and LeBron made it that way,
Dude,
just so it could be awkward.
That was so fun. That was like some of the most fun in-game television I've seen in a long time. Because you had Shaq and Chuck egging it on, and it's funny to see LeBron and KD. They're very different personalities. They're both like LeBron hiding his face to laugh because and they picked Rudy Gobert last year. Everybody hates that dude, which I kind of get, but I feel like some of it's undeserved. I don't know.
French.
Is it because of the freedom fries?
Probably
KD's
all over
funny,
that.
man.
He's really fun.
I love me some KD.
But yeah, you've got that this weekend live from Cleveland. I have no idea about the other events. I'll probably catch up on them. Shouts to Luca. He'll be on the roster.
Not starting. Lost
Not
that spot to
starting.
Ja. That's okay. Doesn't matter. You know what?
Also spot to Andrew Wiggins or some bullshit.
Well, yeah, that's Andrew Wiggins. Okay, cool. Having a fine year, but not a little else all year, really.
True.
Speaking of True, before we get into Run It Back, can we talk about our good friends at Truebill? I'm the king of the segue.
I'm glad you knew that I was talking about different truth. Thank you.
Nobody segues harder than me. How many free trial subscriptions end up costing you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, long after you forgot to cancel? Fight back against scammy subscriptions with Truebill. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwarranted subscriptions in one tap. On average, Truebill users save $720 a year. I've been using this. I get emails from them. They say, hey, this is how much you spent last week. It's very, very helpful. They've got over 2 million users, saving them over $100 million. That's insane. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/bang. That's Truebill.com/bang. You want to run it back?
You want to run it back?
Let's run it back.
You got some. You got jams for me, Davey? Or
They don't talk about Burrow no more.
this list is not
He
lengthy.
lost the Super Bowl.
If you have any last minute. By the way, did we even talk halftime show?
We started off halftime show a little bit.
Did we?
I don't know, dude. Nowadays, everybody wants to talk like they got something to say. Nothing comes out when they move the lips. Just a bunch of gibberish.
What was your overall take?
Mom spaghetti.
Did you enjoy the performances? Like everybody's going to say it's
fucking
awesome.
loved it.
But you
I
enjoyed
loved
the
it.
performances?
I
Can
mean,
I
I grew up on Snoop Dogg and Dre and like that kind of music. I absolutely loved it. They
Uh,
played the hits, man.
Thought this would happen. Little bummed that Snoop and Dre did some of their later stuff. I'm more, we didn't get anything from the Doggy Style album. We didn't get anything from the original Chronic.
I wanted gin and juice, man.
I wanted little G thing. It's fine. I get it. Shout out to Snoop going all blue.
Everybody else clearly was like coordinated in black and or white, like gray.
All blue. Just a clinic and sea walking, and ended it off with throwing up a little gang sign at the end. Let's go.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, he threw the C up.
He's still
He does. Yeah.
He's still repping.
I
Well,
think so.
blood in, blood out. I guess he hadn't. There's no.
That's a
there's
different
been
one.
no
That's
blood
the
out.
rival. Although there is a truce.
It's more like cuz in, cuz out.
Jumped in, jumped out.
It's Arkansas approach.
That is such.
Snoop, man. Fucking love Snoop. Back to the Masters. I saw Snoop perform live in Augusta, Georgia, while I was there. True story.
Was this pre him and Martha being tied to the hip? Do we have any quick thoughts on that like power couple?
No.
Martha and Guy Fieri yesterday.
Sorry, I just blew my own mind because I completely missed a whole bullet point. What do we think about The Rock in his size 28 waisted pants and size 54 biceps in the middle of the field?
Didn't need it.
In the entire field, like the players are ready to kick off.
Yeah.
They're not going to commercial. Like they are very ready.
We're
One
a
of the
little
most
overexposed.
unnecessary things I've seen.
Overexposed to Dwayne at this point.
I thought he
think.
did great.
I do love The Rock. I think he's a very entertaining individual. He's just everywhere.
Agreed.
He's on everything.
I thought it was great. However, poor timed. But ironically, it was it's time speech. The bigger question mark I have is The Rock is the owner of an entirely different football league. He's the owner of the XFL.
Oh, yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, him and his business partner, Danny Garcia. Like, doesn't start this year. It starts next year. What?
You know, when you think LA, you think The Rock. I guess.
I thought it was great, but confusing. It probably was supposed to be one of the buffers. I guarantee that's what it was because they did that in the game before. One of the buffers does the "it's time" or "let's get ready to rumble" before their games. We might have to bleep all this. Don't put that on YouTube. But that's probably why we got the Rock.
Yeah, maybe cap it at 45 seconds. Maybe we don't need like 3.5 minutes of you doing introducing the teams. We know who the teams are
Did
at
you
this
even
point.
smell what he was cooking?
No, all I smelled was the glizzies you were whipping up and your chili with beans.
You're damn right.
You can probably smell what I was cooking.
He was passing gas a lot. Very,
And then he tried to accuse us of that earlier.
Somebody did. No, the reason I thought it was Dylan was because I smelled it, and then he kept going back and forth. Do you remember that when you were like,
when he was jogging laps around the office?
yeah, I thought he was trying to like.
fart, man.
It's okay, dude. Everybody farts.
Yeah, I didn't, and I always claim it because I'm proud of my farts.
Sometimes.
Anyway, it's time to run it back.
Run it back
for real
one
this time. Run it back is a segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. The office ceiling tiles may or may not hold up an inverted shirtless KJ.
That was inverted.
Urban Chop House rebranded and is now the Urban Trap House.
4-finger discount.
Dave used to be a fondue chef and once had his car filled with melted cheese during a heated fondue restaurant war.
Like the
I wish I
trucker
hadn't
hat.
have said anything about that. That was a tough time for me.
Fond Dave was in the building last night at my Super Bowl party as he brought a pot of fondue.
I did.
Yeah, he
It was
did.
an entire pot.
Yeah.
Wouldn't drink it, so he's really no fun, Dave.
Hearing the term double team reminds KJ of last night. His words. That's exactly what he said. KJ's application for bell ringer was denied while at Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm. Not the only app there.
And finally, Chet Holmgren has dork face.
Poor kid.
Okay, he's like
fine. He's
17.
doing just fine.
Isn't he like 17 years old?
I won't lock it in, but I have to say between now and like March, you're going to have to come to grips with it because I think
What, the Spurs are going to draft him?
you'll be hearing about this guy for quite some time.
No, he's good. He's talented.
Whoa.
Ground floor Chet right here.
But seeing dork face isn't like the worst thing. Christian
Eli
Yelich has
Eli
dork
Manning
face.
won 2 Super Bowls with dork face.
Christian Yelich, one of the best pure swings in baseball. He's got major dork face.
You know what? I
It's
lied.
hot.
Eli Manning has dumb face, not dork face. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's different.
So it is different.
Clear.
Fuck, I forgot about Schefter's tweet. Go look it up on the internet. It's bad.
No,
That's
it's
all
really
I'm saying.
good. No, talking about it, it's really good. It's
Nah.
really well photoshopped, and just he definitely didn't delete it or anything immediately.
Look
After
up
just getting
Schefter's tweet
flamed.
from last night. It's terrible.
Oh, weird.
That's all we got.
Weird.
We had
All right,
fun.
we'll see you. Hey, we'll see you next Monday. We are officially out of live stream season, so we'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.